Alright guys, it is Rob and I'm back with part 2 of nostalgic movies. Definitely check out part 1. I listed a lot of great titles there. So enjoy part 2. First we're going to start with Legend. That's right, with Tom Cruise and Tim Curry as the Lord of Darkness, a Ridley Scott film. I remember being scared as hell of the Lord of Darkness. The makeup and the effects that they did with him is just so good. And you know, if they did that today, there's just no way it wouldn't look as good. The effects, there's just no way. They would do CG and it would look fake as hell. But I praise the effects in this. It's so good. And a damn good movie too. Next up we have Double Dragon, another video game adaptation. Robert Patrick is in this movie, but you got Scott Wolf, Julian Nixon, and Alyssa Milano. And this movie is... I don't think this movie is as good as Street Fighter. It's definitely cheesy, but it's entertaining at the same time. You know, you got the Double Dragons there, Jimmy and Billy. And, you know, they fight the Shadow, whatever they're called, the Shadow Group or whatever. Yeah, MVD Rewind Collection, when it came out with this, I'm like, I have to have it. So, Double Dragon. Next up, we have Mac and Me. That's right. I know I messed up in the first part where I said the McDonald's dancing scene. I actually messed that up when I was talking about the Wizard. That didn't happen in the Wizard. It happened here because I thought I was actually talking about Mac and Me, but I messed that up. Anyway, yeah, Mac and Me, definitely a fun movie. And I always thought it was weird with their facial expressions right there. It's almost like they're whistling or they're going, ooh, you know, I always thought that was weird. Just the look of them. But, yeah, Mac and Me. Here we have G.I. Joe, the movie. This is the Blu-ray and DVD that came out by Shout Factory. Now, I was always a fan of this movie because you got some really good voice cast here. You got Burgess Meredith as Globulus, Don Johnson as Lieutenant Falcon. Yeah, there's this movie. I was a huge fan of the show, and I also collected the little figures. But I had this on VHS, and then I had the DVD, and then finally they released it on Blu-ray with special features. It's got all new bonus features for the Blu-ray and stuff. So, yeah, G.I. Joe the movie, definitely awesome. Here's another one, UHF, 25th Anniversary Edition. Weird Al Yankovic, huge fan. Love his music, love his parodies. This is definitely one. He does parodies of, you know, Indiana Jones. He does parodies of Rambo. Just really, really cool. Stupid! You're so stupid! UHF, baby. Next up, Monster Squad. Heck yes. Wolfman Has Nards. I always thought this movie was a little creepy at times, especially the vampire girls. Like, that ending, like, whenever the monsters are all together, I just thought that was just amazing, because we haven't seen that since the Universal era, the Universal monsters. It was nice to see them come to life again, but yeah, because you got the creature from the Black Lagoon, you got the Wolfman, you got Dracula, you got the Mummy and Frankenstein. Yeah, all the classic monsters. Here you have The Sandlot, another great one. And this movie definitely holds up really well today, and there are sequels, but this one is by far the best. James Earl Jones is also in this movie, but just a lot of fun. Great baseball flick. So yeah, The Sandlot. Next up is The Never-Ending Story, which also has sequels. But this one is my favorite. I love the music. I love the characters, the rock biter, and I love how Atreyu has to go through those gates that kill people. It reminds me of Indiana Jones. But you got Falkor, who, you know, the flying dragon. I'm a luck dragon. Yeah, this movie is definitely nostalgic, for sure. Next up is The Outsiders. Now, we actually used to watch this in school because we were reading the novel. And this is just so nostalgic. I used to watch this all the time because it's got such a huge cast. C. Thomas Howell, you got Matt Dillon, Diane Lane, Ralph Macchio, Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze, rest in peace, Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise. This movie, yeah, I love it. Now, this is the complete novel is actually a different version from the theatrical. They've added things like different music and some more scenes, which I don't really care for as much as the theatrical cut, but it is what it is. I still like I like the movie, so whatever. Here's one I used to watch all the time, and that is Pete's Dragon. And they did remake this, but this is the original 35th anniversary edition. It's pretty much a musical. It's a brazzle dazzle day. So watch that all the time. Here we have Beetlejuice. Heck yeah. Shh, don't say his name. But Michael Keaton killed it as Beetlejuice. Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin. Definitely a fantastic Tim Burton film. And I always thought some parts in this were creepy too. When Gina Davis and Alec, like they make their faces different. Like, I always thought that was creepy. This is a double feature here. So we have Problem Child 1 and 2. I love both of these films. Both of them. The first one is so good, and the second one, in an actual way, I think the second one is a little bit better. I like the addition of the girl, but I just felt like this one was more raunchy, especially when they go on the carnival stuff. And this one has great music, but this one has a great opening. I don't know. I like both of these movies, and when I saw that they were on Blu-ray, I'm like, I have to get them. So Problem Child 1 and 2, definitely. Here we have Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. This is another one I used to rent all the time. I remember Captain EO. Loved Captain EO. But Moonwalker, I'm not afraid to admit, I like this movie a lot, and there's a lot of nostalgia. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. Always have been. I don't care about what the bullshit they say in the news and stuff that he did. When it comes to his music, he is hands down the best musician. He's the best. He's the king of pop, and he always will be. He always will be. And yeah, this movie's weird, but it's entertaining at the same time. There's a lot of music videos and a lot of, they try to like wrap a story around it and stuff. So next up is The Goonies. How can you not have The Goonies? The Goonies has always been one of my favorites, and it always will be. Richard Donner film. This movie, this is the movie that started, the whole kid gang thing. It probably didn't start it, but I'm saying this is the one that made it popular that way. A bunch of kids go on a treasure hunt. And there's some creepy moments. while this, you know, the Fratelli gang is on their tail. But yeah, you got Thanos himself right there, a young Thanos. But yeah, just a lot of fun, a lot of nostalgia. Next up is, of course, The Witches, another nostalgic trip. Excellent film. I finally got it here, the Warner Brother Archive collection. Kind of creepy at times as well. But yeah, this is a family film, like a kid film, and they try to kill kids in this. They kidnap a girl in the beginning, and then they turn them into mice and crush them and try to step on them and stuff. This movie is actually violent. So, yes, Masters of the Universe, a film that does not deserve the hate it gets. I'm sorry. Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella. This is a badass film, and Dolph Lundgren looks just like He-Man. I mean, he really does. This has amazing music. I love Frank Langella's Skeletor. He looks so badass as Skeletor, and you know what? He's more badass than the cartoon Skeletor. The cartoon Skeletor was a big pussy. I remember the cartoon Skeletor would always run away. Ha ha ha, He-Man! I got you now, He-Man! And he would always try to run away and escape. This Skeletor was badass, man. He was hunting He-Man down. And he fought He-Man at the end of the movie. Yeah, this movie's awesome, dude. How can I forget Transformers the movie? Probably one of the best animated films ever made. A lot of people were pissed they killed Optimus, but you know, they were bringing in new characters after they killed off some of the old ones. And I didn't mind Hot Rod and Ultra Magnus and Cup and all of them. I didn't mind them. Unicron was awesome, but yeah, this movie is amazing. Great soundtrack. Alright, next up is Old Yeller, a sad film, kind of hard to watch at times, especially the end, but Tommy Kirk, this movie is very nostalgic to me. I used to watch it all the time, and you know, one of these times I'm going to show it to my kids. It is, you know, it is sort of, it is a family film, but the ending is just hard to watch. Here we have Peter Pan. Now this is the live action, the play one with Mary Martin, the musical classic. I used to watch this all the time, and yeah, Mary Martin. Here we have Cool World. Been a while since I seen this one, but they mix, you know, live action with cartoons. So yeah, who was in this? Brad Pitt. Yeah, Gabriel Byrne's in this too. Cool World. Of course, here's a classic, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Gene Wilder, awesome. Love this movie. Very funny. Classic. It's scrumdiddlyumptious. A Christmas Story. Love it. One of the best Christmas movies ever. Here's one. Mr. Nanny. I like this movie. I even like Suburban Commando, but this one, you know, just, I love Hulk Hogan. You know, Hulk Hogan was definitely my favorite wrestler in the 80s, and even during WCW, he was definitely my favorite. And when he got into movies, like, I still enjoyed him. You know, Rocky 3 even. Here we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the 1990 version, the only good version in my opinion. This movie, it's so epic, and the effects and everything are just so good. Makes the other ones look like crap. Here we have Dick Tracy. This movie has a lot of stars. You know, you got Warren Beatty, of course. You got well, Danny Elfman did the music, but you got Madonna. Yeah, just this movie. I don't even know if there's a Blu-ray release of this. I gotta see. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, of course. Definitely a classic right here. Here we got Batman with Michael Keaton. Hell yes. Here we have Hook with Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts. D2, The Mighty Ducks. I love all the Mighty Duck films. This one, I will agree, that is the best. Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. Another great animated film right here. Willow. Hell yes. Filmed by Ron Howard. Val Kilmer, Warwick Davis. George Lucas did the story. Leprechaun himself. Another great animated film, The Land Before Time. Now this has a ton of sequels, and I've never seen them. The only good one, in my opinion, is this one. Another Don Bluth film. James Horner did the music. You have Frank Marshall, Kathleen Kennedy, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, who were all producers. Yeah, this is another one that's kind of sad as well. And here is 5-0 Goes West. I know in the first part I mentioned American Tail, but here is 5-0 Goes West. So another good one. Last one I'm going to mention here, of course, is The Wizard of Oz. This movie is all about nostalgia. Judy Garland. It was directed by Victor Fleming. And Margaret Hamilton as the witch, the Wicked Witch of the West, is one of the best interpretations I've ever seen. When it comes to a villain in particular, like, she knocked it out of the park. And I was afraid of her. I was afraid when she, was on her broom, flying around, and when she's like surrendered Dorothy, like, that scared the ever living shit out of me. Like, she did. Her laugh and her just her look. This is definitely a classic. It is. There's a lot of nostalgia behind this for me, because my parents would always be watching this, and I just seen it enough times to just love it. So that's the last one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know of some of the titles that I mentioned in the comments. Did you find some of these movies, do you find them nostalgic yourself? I guess it depends on what time period you were born and when you were growing up. I am an 80s kid, and a lot of this stuff was it's just awesome. And still today, I believe that all these films that I mentioned hold up in a way. And they might not be the best films out there. They might not get like a high rating, and people may bash them because maybe they don't think it's good, and that's fine. Everyone has their opinion, but these are just ones that I wanted to show you that I still think are good, and I enjoy them. And I can't wait to show my kids some of these. I wonder what they would think about Masters of the Universe. Like, honestly, they don't know about He-Man, of course, because I know about He-Man, from the 80s, with the toys and all that. But I was almost thinking like how would they react to the witches? Because this is definitely a creepy film. They do some creepy stuff in it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this two-parter. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.